Nyawode na bedruyi yese waye yiresada waye yiresada ya jinkwe Nyawode wobe ya bedruyi dienkrana yenyemawo waye yiresada adumre Nyawode no bedruyi waje yiresada waje yiresada ajinkwe Nyawode no bedruyi dienkrana yenyemawo waje yiresada adumure enemy to say enyobe hey asabe asembe na yeka adumure Nyawode no abedrui dienkrana yenyemawo waye yiresada adumre asidani ayeyinyom na yadipe mawo seye she adiawaya Yesu watum toso anu tumika wado Yesu wado ye wawo ye beka diawaya amamenyi natio ye betu hallelujah amawudinu denyina asidere wa yem Yesu wukutona yedawo. You know how to sing this part? Onyamewa yemye ni wadoye Onyamewa yemuyo Onyamewa yemye ni wadoye Onyamewa yemuyo Onyamewa yemye ni watoye. We give you glory, we give you honor, we give you praise. Onyamewa yemye ni watoye. Edosu Nyame shall be praised. Ayeji nina ye woti Jesus mako chemni yaban kesi ejene wo asida nina ye woti Jesus me potenti nyami ayeji nina ye woti Jesus oh my coach maba kesi. Now listen to his glory.
Let's give ourselves a couple of minutes. I see barely 10 of you on YouTube. We just have a handful teams right now. Let's give ourselves barely just about 5 minutes. Those of you on Teams, can give me a thumbs up so I know you can hear me. I would appreciate it. Can you use the gestures? Welcome if you have joined us on YouTube. No colleagues who can quickly join us. As I indicated in the description, if you want to have a direct conversation with me, directly join the Teams. Those of you on Teams, can I get a reaction or something? Can you hear me? Before I show your faces, those on YouTube.
Let's testify this morning.
If you are also on YouTube and you can hear me, take advantage of the chat section. Let me know whether you can hear me loud and clear. Can you hear me? Can you hear me clearly? Hi, Johnson. Okay.
Oh yeah, Ampa. Oh yeah, oh yeah. When you're to phone to say,
Yeah, can you hear me now? Do I sound audible enough? Yeah. Yes, so you can hear me. This is much better. Let me bring it a bit closer. Let- Yeah. Can you hear me now? You can. Okay. How about those of you on Team? Can you hear me now? Am I audible enough? Can you hear me now? Those of you on Microsoft Team. Oh, you can hear me. Okay. Let me just fix it right now. Oh, interesting. That one is more clearer. Okay. All right. Let me hear you. Oh, okay. I think I understand what they mean. Um, my audio is not going. Okay. 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 Can you hear me now? Hello. Uh, Let me, bear with me. I'm trying to get audio. Those on team. Can you hear me now? Those of you on. Can you hear me now? Oh yes. I'm getting the thumbs up. Great. Right. We have 1 more minute. 1 more minute. Um, let me to my word. Let's dance to those who have yet to join us. Those of you on Teams, if somebody can talk back to me, you know, I would appreciate it. I want to know whether everything is yeah. Somebody just spoke, but I don't think they got anything out of it. Can you unmute yourself and speak again? John or somebody else? I want this to be lively. Okay, but you are unmuted, right? Okay. Um, I hope I'm not losing too much time. This. Okay. So we will just hit the ground running. Okay. So can I get somebody say hello to me again on Teams? Um, I hope I didn't make the wrong decision by stubborn second. All right. Thanks everyone who has joined us. Those of you on YouTube and those of you here on. I would try and sandwich these two platforms. Feel free to ask me any question if you have any, and then let's see how we can make uh, forward. You have seen the description of this meeting. Those of you who have joined us on, and those of you on Facebook, you can see from the description. We're going to talk about. We're going to look at a comprehensive overview of your courses, then prerequisites and course details, and then the most important topic I believe prompted most of you to join us, um, which is the uh, strategic registration. Um, you had a condition in your application, which is based on your performance at the end of or uh, at the end of your level 100, we placed in a number of courses. This is for the mathematical science students. Also received calls from some parents. Um, you still have a challenge hearing me. Is that the impression I am getting? Those of you on, let's rectify this as soon as possible. If you can hear me well, just give me a thumbs up. Team. Just making sure everybody's okay. All right. Then I guess I have a colleague who has an hearing aid. I'm pretty much screaming on top of my voice right now. Okay. So yeah, we'll talk about the strategic registration because I know this is a prerequisite to your balloting to gain access to diaspora. Uh, and we'll look at a bit of departmental insights. And after, if you have any questions, feel free to let me know. Oh, right. Um, so we just hit the nail on the head and get started. I want to pull as I usually do it, I want to pull out the document that will serve as the foundation of the discussion. Is that okay? The university as an institution right on the back of rules and regulations, and so you don't get up and do what you like as when you want. So this here, I'm going to share my screen. So those of you who may want to blow up my video so that it fills your screen, makes like your spotlight hits your Zoom. I think that will make it a little more. Uh, so let me this file, which is up one. Hmm, see. Okay, right. Uh, can you see what I'm sharing? The document I'm sharing. This is not highly classified or anything. Okay. Uh, let me try and make this as clear as possible so that I don't hide my face. Give me a moment. Hang, uh, if you have been following me for some time now, you would know I like doing live sessions. Uh, you know, uh, uh, the picture on it. You can't hear me clearly. Uh, we will see what we can do about it. Hang on a bit for me. Okay, maybe I'll be done. And that, 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 all right. Let me know. Just a moment. A call interrupted my feed. All right, here we go. Right. Um, let me know if you can hear me now. Those of you on Teams. Spencer, can you hear me? Okay. Yes, this um Spencer you. Okay. All right. So as most of you may already know, this document I'm sharing with you, you can see at the top right corner. This is an official document that has been signed and approved, dating all the way back to 2018. Right. So the facts I'm going to share with you here are valid. Yeah. Thank you for the feedback, those of you on YouTube. I hope those of you on Teams hear me. You are here because you want to address your constraints you have any. Okay. So please do feel free to ask any question. All right. Okay. So um, if you are not a University of Ghana student, um, specifically Department of Computer Science, of course, by the School of Physical Mathematical Science, then well, you want to be informed. someone invited you here, maybe a parent, maybe a guardian. Uh, hope you find the information here useful. Right. So as you may know, on the second bullet of students who are admitted into School of Physical Mathematical Science, specifically mathematical science students, you might have noticed that the second bullet indicates that at the end of your level 100, based on your performance, you will be placed into a program. And you were given a host of options of programs. There was computer science, there was statistics, there was mathematics, there was actuarial science, and several others. This is just a recap, and it's on the admission letter of every student admitted into mathematical sciences. The impression I've gotten with a few parents who have reached out implies that most parents are not aware that the awards are, for example, not admitted into actuarial science by the admission or admitted into computer science by the admission, and that they are supposed to compete and then, based on their performance, achieve their aims of reading the programs they desire. And so that is where I come in. So this is just to give an overview. If you are admitted, for example, into, and of course, let me issue a disclaimer here. I'll be a bit more biased because I belong to the Department of Computer Science. So I'm more inclined to my department, but I will try and throw a bit more light into the other programs as best as I can. It is not my field of specialty or area of specialty, but I will provide as much advice as I possibly can. If I'm providing any information that is inaccurate, please feel free to draw my attention, and any constraints, any challenges, or whatsoever. However, if your dream is to enter into computer science, then you will be required to gain admission into mathematics, accept admission into mathematical sciences, and then based on your performance, you get the opportunity to read computer science. Um, the cutoff point for BSc IT has remained at aggregate 10 for the males, and I think there's a concession for the females somewhere within the region of 11 or 12, I think. I think it's 11. Yeah, I would have to get my facts right. Um, but the fact is that we place premium on computer science. We place premium on computer science. So I'll begin the conversation from the mathematical sciences, and then we'll drill down into the IT bit, and by extension to the others. So that is just to provide a quick overview. If you have any question or whatsoever, feel free to let me know. If you're on Teams, you can just unmute yourself. I'll call out your name. Just raise your hand and you speak. If you are joining on YouTube, feel free to type your question, and I'll be glad to respond to it accordingly. I will, repeat your question, re-echo your question for the interest of those on Teams, and then we'll address it in that regard. Right. So in level 100, most of you, I think this has to go to page 32, I guess, if I'm not moving too far away. So we don't have any table of content for this. This is a scanned document. So I have not had time to tag certain sections. So I have no choice but to scroll through to the page that I'm particularly interested in. I should arrive pretty soon. Right. Yes. Okay. All right. So this is where we've been looking at all this while. Now, when you at the end of your level 100, as we may know, your results for um, your second semester has yet to be published. I am not sure you have results for even a single one of your courses because of the nature of our curriculum. We've had to compress a whole lot. Your vacation has been quite brief. Bear with us. Nobody's comfortable, I must admit. KUST, your counterparts are resuming all the way back in January. You are commencing in barely a few weeks from now. Yes. Of course, this doesn't apply if you're watching this video weeks or years or sometime in the future. Okay. This is as current as today is 29th September 2023, the time of this live stream. Okay, so in just about a week's time, you are arriving. And I know a couple of days ago, it was published in the students' email, and of course, everyone within the university community, University of Ghana, to be aware of the arrangements for accommodation, balloting, etc., which is pretty much sensitive conversation when it comes to um, student life, especially for parents, because of cost of accommodation now. So, and before you can patronize, in fact, before you can partake in this balloting, your registration should have commenced to a certain extent. So that is why we've gathered here, especially because your second semester performance results has yet to be released. So we are unable to accurately determine your branch of placement. That is the clause. Your placement is benchmarked on your performance at the end of level 100 if you are admitted into mathematical sciences. So, if you wish to come into computer science, we have a number of courses that you are eligible um, to branch into. It's quite a broad spectrum of courses. I have this filtered section. I want to just highlight on that. I take those ones out. Okay, right. So in level 100, most of you took these courses. If you're in mathematical science, you took all of these courses. We are not going to brood over level 100 bit of things. You've seen your results in first semester. You had these electives as options and you've taken them. If you wanted to come to computer science, definitely this elective should have been done, which is IT. If you want to go to actuarial science, then they would have required of you to have taken economics. If you wanted to go into biomathematics, they would have expected you to take ABC 101, animal biology, and a host of others. If you want to go to physics or physical sciences, of course, we have practical physics 1 and then mechanics and thermal physics. Right. Now, that is not the conversation we're having today. I believe everyone watching this session, be it YouTube or Teams, you have already crossed that bridge. You might have also taken these courses you see over here. So that is also not a conversation for now. Um, for IT students, you might have crossed this bridge as well, taking mathematics for IT professionals, and of course, calculus one in your second semester, which is a requirement. Pardon, somebody said something on Teams. Oh, okay. All right. So I got a bit of a distraction from the Teams. Those who have joined on Teams, we have quite a sizable number here. Okay. Right. So at the end of your level 100, you have options. We have a number of courses you can subscribe to. We have the single major computer science, which is this is what I refer to as a program we have placed premium on as far as the computer science department is concerned. If you want to major in computer science, then you are going to choose our course. You need to meet some minimum requirements, which we have discussed already. We want you to make a minimum of a B plus in all your DCIT courses in first year. So what I mean here is in DCIT 103. So DCIT 103, DCIT 101. Pardon me, let me just quickly move there. Right. So in DCIT 101, DCIT 103, in this case, Introduction to Computer Science and Office Productivity Tools, we require of you to make a minimum of a B plus grade, a minimum, and then just pass all your math courses. Pass your math courses. In fact, the emphasis is on a good grade in your math courses. Per the university description, a good grade is C. C, right? A grade C is described as good. C plus is described as very good, I believe. D is a pass, and so on and so forth. You already know this, so that's not a discussion we are having here today. So that is our requirement if you want to major in a computer science program. To major in computer science, we have three categories. We have single major computer science, single major exclusive. So all your programs are computer science exclusive. We have combined major computer science, where you can stay in computer science and other courses like statistics, mathematics, among others. I'll show all of them to you. And then you can major in computer science and minor exclusively in other courses like statistics, physics, and so on and so forth. If you fall in any of these three major categories in computer science, the requirement applies to you. A minimum of a B plus in our level 100 courses across the 2 semesters, and then good grades good grades generally in your maths courses, math subjects. Let me put it that way: your math subjects. A good grade in your DCIT subjects, and a good grade. Sorry, let me take it again: a minimum B plus grade in your DCIT subject in level 100 across the 2 semesters, and a good grade in your maths and stats subjects. I hope that point is clear. I hope that point is clear. Now, because the placement exercise hasn't commenced, so I'm moving on to the third item. Because the placement exercise hasn't commenced, most of you are worried. You don't know your places yet. You don't know which courses you are really going to take. And so you don't even know which courses exactly you should register for. And that is why I decided to have this session with you. Right. So if you look closely at the information I'm sharing with you right now on the screen, if you are taking single major computer science, right, we have a host of courses you can choose from. We have DC. We Just hang on for me a moment, please. So, apologies for the disruption. These are the courses, if you are fortunate, and at this point, I'm speaking to students who pretty much, aced their first semester level 100 mathematical science course selection courses. Okay, so maths 121, maths 123, DCIT 101, DCIT 103. Basically ace them. Yes, we'll have a conversation. Those of you who made D's, C pluses, etc., please pause for me. Let me, at the moment, emphasize on those who aced it. There is a very high probability that you ace the second semester as well. This is my logic, okay? It's unfounded. I don't have any empirical evidence, okay, to substantiate this, but I believe if you aced your grades, your subjects in first semester, it's most likely you ace second semester. But hey, who am I to conclude on that? Pause for me. Regardless, these are the courses you have to register. Now, listen and listen carefully at this very point. UGRC 210 is a required course. Now, this is a required course whether you end up in mathematics, whether you end up in actuarial science, whether you end up in statistics, or you end up in computer science. I've made mention of 5 programs here, or even earth science. UGRC 210 is a required course. So please note it down and register. If you want to do single major computer science, if you feel you're going to qualify for this course, DCIT 201, 203, 205, and 223 are courses you cannot escape. These are required courses for first semester, the semester that is beginning in about a week or a week's time. Now, if for any reason, your performance disadvantages you and you don't get to make computer science, and I mean, pretty much, you've made some C's and D's, pretty much as we speak in your DCIT course. Some of you have even failed your DCIT courses because I recorded some fails in Office Productivity Tools, and there were clearly some fails in DCIT 101. Okay. And yet these students are hard bent on reading computer science or IT. I don't really know how that is going to happen. You've already failed the courses that are prerequisites to the program that you want to take. And I know some of you are going around telling your parents, mom, this is the only course I can take, that is the only course I can take. When I see the maths, something else happens. I don't want the maths, I don't have anything to do with the maths. But sadly enough, you've not aced the subjects that are required to get into it. Please bear with us, okay? It's highly unlikely that we would admit you into computer science or any related subject if you have failed our courses in first year. It doesn't even make sense if you bear with me on that one. You failed all the four courses required to enter DCIT, I mean computer science, and you are still hard bent on coming to computer science. I really don't know how that works, but I know definitely there are some of you out there. We are talking about almost 800 of you, so you may have some isolated cases like that. So they are hearing me right now. You can engage with your course advisors, and then we can discuss your options as quickly as possible. At this moment, you are already, I could say, you are one step in level 200. Okay. Now, those of you who make feeble grades in such subjects, DCIT 101, DCIT 103, and whatever is yet to come, you probably made some D's and some C's in there. We may consider you to minor in computer science, but computer science cannot be your major. I repeat, if your grades in the DCIT programs in level 100 are not good enough, we may consider you to minor in our programs whilst you major in the other subjects. For example, assuming you ace your statistics courses, statistics subjects, starts 101 and 102. These are essential courses to get into statistics. You ace them. You don't do poorly in the maths subjects as well. We could give you the stats with computer science, and that's what the statement will be. So statistics will be your major subject, and then computer science will be your minor subjects. It cut across all the other areas. Okay, please take notice of that. Now you have to make an informed decision. We will give you, the platform will be open, the portal will be open. I'll have a session like this with you and demonstrate how you're going to partake in this placement. You're going to make your placement, and we expect you to make an informed decision. Now, if you ignore the red flags, for example, you don't ace required subjects to make it into your desired program, and you do not choose the right courses to match up with your performance, you're going to leave that responsibility to us. And you don't come back to us when the outcome is unfavorable to you. I'm repeating this. You know your grades across the subjects. We expect of you to make an informed decision based on your performance in level 100 to select your desired program at the end of the day when the portal is opened. If you go against this requirement, knowing well that you pretty much have failed the required requisite courses to get into a program, a specific program as a major, we are still going to sort out the results. We have put in place our algorithm, and we are going to leave that responsibility to us to place you based on your performance as we deem fit. Please, let's not get into that particular position. It's usually not a comfortable place for most students, and I don't want anyone to find himself there. So make an informed decision. That's why we're having this engagement session, to address this conversation. this subject in this conversation. Right. I've seen a few hands up on Teams. I'll give you the opportunity to ask your question, and I'll re-echo it also live for those of you on YouTube. If you have any question at this point, please don't hesitate to put them across in the chat section. I made this session on YouTube a DVR. So if you have just joined us, you can still go back and play whatever has already taken place in the past few minutes. Okay. So if you want to come to computer science, which most of you have told your friends, your folks, some people are exclusively sponsored by certain organizations because of computer science. We have situations like that. We have a level 400 students, and several of them will come to us, so we hear of it. Who are struggling to survive in the program of their choice. Sadly enough, they could not get into computer science, BSc IT, which would have been much more suitable because they couldn't get in because of their grade. Mathematical science had been expanded. The aggregate has been expanded all the way to about 14 or so. And so, you have a wide band of students coming in here, and you're all required to compete favorably at level 100 to get into your desired program. Sadly enough, most people are unable to defend their A1s and B1s in B2s in their elective maths and core math subjects, but these are very essential. As a department, once again, like I said, computer science, we place premium. We usually have less numbers in computer science as compared to our IT programs. Unfortunately, we do not admit directly from mathematical science into IT. We will only consider somebody from mathematical science. We may only consider somebody from mathematical science into IT when the person has the same aggregate of qualification to match a direct entry into IT if the person had applied. Now, IT has been designed to minimize the level of mathematics component for a student. Computer science, the arena of IT is quite broad. And so, the student who wants just the hands on skill set to be fruitful and useful to most industries, tech supports, engineers, among others, and don't want too much demand on their brains when it has to do with computations and calculations. When we talk about artificial intelligence, um, um, programming, hardcore solutions into being, etc. That is quite on the high side for you, robotics, etc. Yours is probably you want to be a tech support engineer, digital technology specialists, fundamentally understanding what is going on within the browser environment, design web applications. You don't want to be the one dealing with the core logic and computations, all those maths. You know you are weak. Then your admission should have been directly into IT. That way, in level 100, your maths typically ends. In level 200, you just focus on your courses. Let me show you this combined subjects. So IT level 200, you avoid all maths. In fact, your maths end in level 100 if you're an IT student. Mathematics end in level 100. Our own couched maths for you in first semester DCIT 105, and then calculus 1, which is introduction to calculus, and that ends it. Then level 200, you just focus on these courses, which are all common to computer science major students, except for e-business architectures, which you see here. So you don't have maths appearing at all. You have an option to venture into numerical and computational methods if you want as an IT student. That is in your second semester, but that officially ends all your math courses in our BSc IT program. The moment you cross level 100, you and math have nothing to do. Okay, you have equally relevant programs that are essential to an IT student, which you can opt for, select them, and then you move on. So I received a call from a parent a couple of days ago, and he was very confident his ward had been admitted into BSc IT, but they didn't know which courses to register for. Here they are. So you have a minimum 15 credits to select. Academic writing is not optional. Programming one is essential. Digital and logic systems design is essential. Multimedia and web design is essential. And then e-business architectures is also essential. These are required courses. I repeat, these are required courses. You can't do without them. If for any reason you wish to expand your band, you have other courses you may see on your ITS which you can select from. And this is for IT students, BSc IT level 200. So if you are admitted into that program, if it is on your admission letter, don't hesitate. Just go to the ITS portal and register these courses, and then you are good to go. If you are admitted into mathematical sciences, then these are your options. So if you know you do not make the cut for computer science as a single major, okay, the emphasis is on the single major. So if you are coming into computer science as a single major, then you select these courses. These are required: academic writing 2, programming 1, digital and logic systems design, multimedia, blah blah blah. Now this is where the difference lies for um, those of you taking the IT. So that program you saw there, DCIT 209, is only exclusively couched for IT students. If you're in computer science, then you are going to do calculus 2. Calculus 2. As a matter of fact, single major computer science students will have a maths exclusive course or subject that will run up to level 300. Level 300. You cannot escape mathematics as a computer scientist. The kind of research we do here are often mathematics intensive, and we place premium on it. So if you want to venture into robotics, you want to venture into hardcore networking, etc. I mean, you cannot do without mathematics, and that is why premium is placed on that. Else, you're better off in IT. If you did not make the admission cutoff, you didn't meet it, and for that matter, you opted to come into computer science, then please brace yourself and meet the requirement before you can, ladder on into the program of your choice. I think the hand on Teams has gone down. I'm pretty sure he's gotten his answer. I hope so. So, um, if you so you these are the required courses, and then you select any 3 credit hours of courses from any department to add up to the 15 to make it 18. Okay, you do that to add up to make it the 18. We can discuss the options that you may want to add on as a single major computer science student. Now, if for any reason you do not make the cut, and so computer science is going to be a minor course for you. Now, this information is supposed to help you complete your registration as quickly as possible ahead of your placement. All the courses will be available as long as you belong to mathematical science or School of Physical and Mathematical Sciences. So academic writing, whether you are going to be in single major computer science or not, is a required course. Programming 1, if you are going to minor in our course, you definitely know from the look of things, from your performance in first semester, it's highly unlikely for you to get single major computer science. But then again, you still want to do something computer science related and to achieve your future goals and aims. No problem. Go ahead and minor in computer science and make sure you select these courses. Calculus 2 is not leaving your plate as long as you want to do something with computer science. Calculus 2 may be a required course if you are majoring in computer science. Even statistics students who are majoring in statistics, Calculus 2 is also a requirement. So you can't, you just cannot escape mathematics in mathematical science. And that is the whole point. So if you're a student and your hope was to get into computer science and run away from maths, I'm sorry. Sorry to burst your bubble. This is not the first time we're having this conversation, and I know this is not the first time. So you register for these courses. Now, your other courses, which may define your major program, may be determined after your second semester results have been released. We still have add and drop courses, window still opened. Okay. Lecturers have up to about, I think, the second week of October to upload all results. So until then, you can still add whatever course that may be left. So when we go to, if you are majoring in computer statistics, you have courses that are required. If you're majoring in actuarial science, you're majoring in physics, if you're majoring in mathematics, there are required courses. Okay. If your goal is to still have something to do with computer science, and very likely you may not get into computer science major, then you just go ahead and select these courses from the ITS and commence your registration. You know, definitely you can add on to this, just so you are not put in any dilemma because you do not know your placement just yet. The placement, according to the university rules, is benchmarked on your performance, and it will be unfair to limit your performance only to first semester. We want the holistic performance, first semester, second semester of your level 100, to make that informed decision. However, that should not be an impedance for you to commence your registration and proceed to be eligible to ballot for a room in diaspora, and so on and so forth. So this is very, very important. I know some of you have made payments for your fees. The registration portal had been open way back at the beginning of the month, and you have been wondering when to make your registration and when not to proceed. Yes, that is why we've gathered here and now, and that is the information I have given you. Proceed to make your registration, register the relevant essential courses, and then proceed to do your balloting. And then as time proceeds, after the balloting, the placement is completed, which will be done duly after the all your results have been computed. Then you know which program you'll be focusing on as far as your academic journey here is concerned up to your graduation time. If you are admitted into physical sciences, you have no option to associate yourself to computer science aside from taking physics with computer science. I repeat, physics with computer science. So these options as well apply to you. And then all your required courses in your physical sciences, you maintain them and then register for them. This document I'm scrolling through here is available to all my students on the Telegram platform, for the Telegram platform I created for course advisors and their students. You can just search. The channel has been designed such that even if you join today, you can still trace historical conversation. You can just search for the files that have been shared on the page and can have access to it. If you have any questions whatsoever with regards to the content of the document, feel free to engage with any course advisor who is available and accessible to you. Um, until your placement, I may entertain some of your questions, but once your placements are completed and you move to level 200, I may have to turn attention to the new incoming level 100s who are yet to report somewhere early January. So that is on this very point. What else do I have on the agenda? Departmental Insights. Yes, let me um, end on that particular note. So many of you may be wondering, say, I have a dream of being a computer scientist. That is all I wanted to do. What is there for me if I should be majoring in statistics? What is there for me when I move into mathematics? You know. Now, let me tell you what. If you have any interest of venturing into anything artificial intelligence related, robotics, etc., name it. No, let me start with artificial intelligence. Then, matter of fact, you are even better off a candidate majoring in statistics and minoring in computer science. That's being quite frank with you. Data scientists, data engineers, and whatnot, name them. They are one of the highest paid computer science careers we have today. And these are jobs that are being sought after remotely, with relocation, among others. And so you're not left out. Every organization that has an interest in guiding and safeguarding their future invest in data scientists, and they are well paid. Your statistical concepts and background has to be top notch. You have to be on top of your game. Programming in Python is essential, so you cannot escape it. As a matter of programming is across all the courses. Computational mathematics in math department, you'll be programming in Python. It's not just in computer science department. That's why it's mathematical sciences. You can't just escape maths, because you probably should have gone admission into IT, but you are not in that state yet. So you have no yourself and make up your mind. You have a very good career awaiting you in statistics, of course, in intelligence. I have had students currently at 200 moving to 300 whose goal has been in robotics. And so some of these students are majored in computer science and they are minoring in mathematics because we do not teach mechanics, for example, in computer science. So there's a course borrowing from the maths department, among a host of other relevant courses that will guide them to their future goal in robotics. For 400, they have liberty to select computer science exclusive courses only, as far as the documentation is concerned. So such students in level 400, can take all their courses from computer science and have no issue with anybody. So that is how the combination has been put together. So whichever area you desire to have a decent career, trust me, you are spoiled for choice. Don't ever look down upon yourself in any way. As a matter of fact, in my position as a computer scientist, I'd wished had done a lot more statistics because it's pretty much essential to all my research work. You need to engage with participants, you need to borrow statistical models and run these parameters, etc. To become our teaching assistant, your statistics has to be very solid. Your programming has to be very solid before you can even work with that. So don't look down upon yourself if for one reason or the other performance denies you of your it is not your fault. Probably it's your fault. But I mean, I don't want you to cry over spilt milk. And I don't want you to think that there is no hope for your future. May if you are concerned about what people think or say about you, then that may be a bit it may dampen your spirit a bit because probably I've told your friends, your relations, oh, I mean University of Ghana read computer science. But sadly enough, even office productivity tools, you probably made a very weak grade. um, then you probably may be worried because you are not going to impress people. But hey, this is my standpoint. You're more of an adult now. You make your own decisions. You are fortunate to have someone sponsoring you, but your future is in your hands. Your career is in your hands. Your goals are in your hands. You probably should have known why you are here and committed yourself much more to these goals and align yourself much better to them so that you could probably ace all of you are not done. Some of us probably might have oh, had the need to spend extra time behind certain subjects we didn't think we were strong at. But that is well and past and behind us now. So that is just to give you a insight in the department. They are all equally important, they're all equally demanding. You just have to make mind that you are steady. Few weeks, and you can sail through. Yeah. So at this point, I will stop the plenty talking. Taking well longer than I should. I have barely 5 minutes more left on my time. If you have any question, please don't hesitate. Let me see. We have a couple of hands team. I'll take those questions. I was hoping I could get their audio to come through the live stream, but I'm unable to lose any much more time with these configurations and settings. So I'll call out their names, hear them out, and then tell you what they're saying. So let me begin with Wabin Kelly. Yeah, let me know whether you are part of the audience, the target audience for this session, or you are just passing through. I would appreciate it. And if you are joining us and not part of this institution, you probably have been watching some of my videos, and so once this live came on, you have, come on air. I would love to know where you have joined us from, which institution you belong to. You're a parent, you're a guardian, you're a friend. Um, I would love to know who I'm engaging with. All right, so Kelly, you can unmute yourself. I think all of you on. Yes, let's hear. Let me hear you. I can. Okay, we have one question. There are not many, so let me just hit the nail on the head. He's asking what happens is your computer science courses, CIT courses in this case, um, is your math subject. I presume the impression you are trying to create here, Kelly, is say probably you make a D in your math subject. We may consider you. That is a pass grade. If you've aced the DCIT courses and you've passed, you could be considered to take a single major in computer science. That I can assure you. And we place premium on our DCIT courses because that's the least or the most simplest of subjects you probably may take. As you climb down the up the ladder, it gets more and more difficult with the courses and the subjects that we put across. I mean, by level 200 second semester, you are going through software engineering. We expect you to have consumed and assimilated all the programming fundamentals, and you are good to go. So if you are already struggling with your maths, having some trails down the line, it will be a huge dissatisfaction, due disservice, a huge distraction for you, and you probably just maybe try struggling to just get a third class or a pass class before you graduate because it may be difficult to catch up on the other things. You really need your 18 credit hours and the extra hours out of your 40 hours a week, assuming you are studying from 8 to 5 p.m. every day, to even expand on your knowledge with the pace at which technology keeps changing with time, if you understand what I'm saying. So we know the demand on our course, and we know why we put these measures in place to make sure it doesn't become a burden on you. We have students who may not graduate, students who have not graduated the past 3 years. We have students in level 300 who realize, the gravity of the caution that was put across, and it wasn't just mere words we're putting out there to scare anyone. We're just being frank, okay? When you come and meet my team of teaching assistants and we're having a conversation, you may get lost if your foundation is very feeble and weak. And these are students who have gone through the mill. You get the whole point. We want you to be at that level. We don't want you to get lost in our conversation when we are talking about technical approaches to solving one problem or the other. When we are trying to brainstorm around a solution, we need you to be an independent, deep thinker as a computer scientist, if you understand what I mean. Be more innovative with the depth of understanding of concepts, creating some world class ideas like how we can create leverage virtual reality environment for patient doctor communication. It doesn't come so easy. There are a lot of things you need to know fundamentally. If programming is a challenge for you, you don't even get started in the first place. So we really have a high demand and expectation from our computer science students, and we don't regret our decisions because the students who have succeeded at this are highly sought after. They are being sought after globally, and we are proud of them. They're able to compete with their counterparts outside this space. So please bear with us on that. Somebody else's hand is up. So let me take one from Facebook, YouTube, sorry, and then I'll come back to you, Chris Fodofori. So the person is asking, let's assume, I know assumptions will come in here. Let's assume that you passed the DCIT courses and had F in math courses. How would you be placed? Are you saying that you had an F in maths 121, maths 123, stats 111? And then in second semester you have failed all the maths again, then we may have a student who is quite dysfunctional. That your GPA alone may put you in a position of being withdrawn from the university, if that is the situation, if that is the assumption you are giving us. But if there is any um, hint of good performance in other relevant courses like the stats or the maths, we most likely will place you in one of those and let you minor in IT. Yeah. The math is not going anywhere. If that means you're going to fail them till level 300, if that assumption you are putting out there is valid. You get what I'm saying? Then you might as well should have withdrawn and applied into BSc IT. If your grade doesn't support you in that space too, then it's quite difficult for me to come in here because that decision is usually not made by one person. You may need a little more talking to. Probably we recommend you to meet the counseling units who be, we have an academic counselor exclusively to have this kind of dialogue and make adequate recommendation based on your performance and output to the management or academic affairs to help you with such a decision. So that is my response to you. You're using the name Protocol Wonder. Again, if you're on YouTube, I would love to know where you have joined us from, especially if you are not a student. E. An E is a failed grade. If you have read the university rules, an E is a failed grade. I don't know. Yes, an E is a failed grade. You may not be able to graduate with a number of E's. So you can't tell us you're going to fail or score an E in all them. I don't know. Some students are, made up their mind that maths is not my thing. It's sad to hear that. Then why did you take admission into mathematical sciences? Am I asking a valid question here? Maths is not your thing, but you took admission into mathematical sciences. Why didn't you apply into BSc IT? You get into mathematical sciences and you tell us maths is not your thing. Why then did you come into mathematical? The course is mathematical sciences. So that is very difficult for me to understand, to be frank. And there were a lot of options out there before you made your application. Okay. So let's um don't say but say we are in now. So what do you do? What can you do for us? I don't know. Um I frankly don't know. But we can have a conversation outside this. We have I've spoken with parents who are even reconsidering, reapplying for their awards because it seems they are not acing it. And some students, I mean, I don't think math is not a thing for anybody. I just believe the approach to studying math from WASI hasn't helped you enough. Those of us who went through the SSC days and not WASI days, you could speak to top books like Backhouse, Godman, where, and these books are still relevant today to comprehend these calculus concepts, at that higher level. You really wanted to understand the concepts and apply them to the questions you came across in the exam, not to solve past questions to literally pass. Sadly, that has become the order of the day from my point of view. And so when you come to the university, you are not able to transition smoothly to learn, even though I hammered on this right from your orientation till date. Some of you still struggled with understanding the foundations of your math subjects to be able to leverage them to sail through your exams. The chew and pour didn't help you. Past questions at the university level don't work in mathematical sciences. Sadly, because you made an A1 and B1s in the WASI in core maths and elective maths, you thought you would just pass through easily. But unfortunately, that wasn't the story. You can chew for that moment when you are in the lecture, but that chew and pour you made, that cramming, is not going to ace you in the exam. And sadly, that is what most of you have become victims of. The proper approach to learning maths, we've missed it. Right. So that is my position on this one. I hope I have answered you well enough. Let me take another question from Teams. Kingsford, your hand is up. I'll be looking through the chat section to address the rest. Yeah, let's hear you. Trust me, if 500 students or even 800 students, a minimum B plus CIT courses, um, make in mathematics and statistics courses, you'll get admission into single major computer science. So that was the question someone asked if you're on YouTube. I wanted to know the maximum number of students. There was one instance we had only 43 students who really met our criteria. 43. 43, and I repeat, only 43. The consideration was made, and that number was increased up to about 100 and a few. No, we didn't even get up to 150. Like I'm saying, premium is placed on computer science. We don't want you to struggle, okay? And we are working within a specific time frame, 10, 13, 15, 13 weeks, a semester, So we're doing our best. But if you're not naturally interested in the course, to spend the hours you need to sit on your butt and research more, engage more, and you want to live your life like other programs, I won't mention names here, because I mean, I have a niece who goes for lectures for just about Mondays and Tuesdays, and that's the end. Wednesdays to Fridays, no lectures. She's reading the program in University of Ghana. If such a person is your friend and you are in computer science, the two of you cannot align. You could be friends elsewhere, but not by way of programs. You have loads of things to learn. Even if we don't give you assignments and tasks, you should be that curious enough to be digging further, because technology is changing at a very fast pace, and we want our students to be relevant to the changing tech world. You get it? So if you have the desire, if you can play computer games and fidget with computer and TV without studying manuals, etc., that's a different thing. Please, computer science is a whole different ball game. Imagine if you are using Windows, what goes on behind the scenes, so that when I click on the start button, something pops up and I get to click what is really going behind there. These are the curious things that propel us to be who we are, to be in the position where we also teach you the way we do. You get the whole point. If that level of inquisitiveness is not naturally stirred up inside of you, then you may struggle a bit. It may not motivate you to sit extra hours behind your computer and do the needful. But yeah, that's what the scientists have to commit themselves to. Extended hours. Kingsford, you didn't ask your question. Or you did. Your hand is still up. Right. There are a lot of questions that are coming in on YouTube. Let me get through with just the few ones that are on the chat section of the Microsoft Teams, and then I'll address the few that are here on YouTube. So, can we come to you for consultation? I usually have a tight, busy schedule, but I have your interest at heart. It's one of my motivations from leaving the corporate world to come back into academia. And so it brings me fulfillment. I will do my best, but I won't deny the fact that I'm hard to get. I literally have something on my schedule almost all the time. But I will try my best to accommodate you. Just be a bit persistent, but bear with me. So let me put that across. So that is for the one who's asking for consultation. I don't know. Do you want me to charge you for a fee? Maybe that may be a lot more motivation. So what if you ace all your required DCIT and STAT courses and you don't make the cutoff point for maths courses? We'll most likely align you with a STATs major and a minor in computer science if you're in that position. That would be my quick response to that. Yeah, that's how we have literally worked on the algorithm. So what if you ace all your first semester courses, get C plus or B in second semester DCIT course, but also ace other second semester course? Will it be enough for a single major CS? I'm sorry, we weigh all the sides, okay? You are literally doing 4 maths courses, 2 stats courses, and then 4 DCIT courses. So we will look at the one that has the strongest weighting and then place you, basically, and make the consideration for it. But you should know yourself, your strength, whatever course you do better, should outweigh the other in terms of your choices. So we have the single major, the combined major, and then major minor. But I've told you what is required to come into single major computer science. So what if the second semester results are not out before 9th October? We will wait for them to be out. I'm pretty sure we'll definitely cross that bridge when we get there. Don't worry. So you register what you need to register now and proceed with your other balloting for diaspora and other spaces like that. Say, may I inquire if IT students are required to register for DCIT 207? DCIT 207. Let me switch to that display right now. DCIT 207. Which course is I don't have all of these things off here. This oh no IT students. IT student, this IT 207 is already, if I'm not mistaken, let me see. Let me confirm this for you. This IT 207. Oh yeah, this IT 207. That was kept. That was kept. That should have been part of this, I believe. How could I have missed that? 207 courses that? This IT 207. How did I miss that? A moment, please. Okay, I'm looking at the wrong document here. Sorry. Let me see. BCIT 207. Hmm. Yeah, yeah, it should be there. It should be there. I remember we had a course like that. Um, what's the course title? Um, yeah, we have DCIT 207. Yes, organizational architecture and computer organization architecture. Yes. Yes. Sorry, I didn't bring that one up. So let me show you this. Right. So you may see this one on your registration as well. Please, there was an oversight in this document to have this course included in um, the table that I showed to you earlier. Thank you very much for bringing this to my attention, Christabel Araba. You are on Teams. Thank you so much for bringing this to my attention. Now, this course is common to computer science students and IT students. Please, when you get to the system, register it as well. So this adds up to make it 18 credit hours. 18 credit hours. If you decide not to, if you're single major students and you decide not to take any course from any other place, aside from the calculus 2 that is there, you have reached your maximum 18 credit hours. You have no problem with anybody. Okay. So that's for your information. DCIT 207. Please take notice of this. If you are qualified, if you know you qualify for single major computer science and then BSc IT, you need this. So when you see it, please register. DCIT 207, computer organization and architecture. Very, very important. You need that knowledge. Right. Which other questions do we have here? Yes, so please select it. Also, academic writing. Yes, yes, there's been a few changes here. Academic writing has now been, at the time this was approved, I think the collegiate system, there were a lot of structuring that was still going on in the university. So, academic writing is now CBAS 210. And note, I know most of you have not read the student manual. Any of our course codes that has even number, I mean, that has a 1 in the middle. So, for example, 110, 210. Any course that has such IDs means that those courses can be taken in any of the semesters. It's not exclusive to first semester, it's not exclusive to second semester. If the course has 0 in the middle and an even number at the end, it is exclusively for second semester. If it's an odd number at the end, it's exclusively for first semester with a 0 in the middle. But if it has 1 in the middle and a 0 at the end, always 3 delegates, then it's available every semester. All of this information is in the university manual. The university's website, please download and know this information for yourself. So CBAS 210 replaces the UGRC course you have in the structure that I showed you, but it's academic writing. So yeah, please take this information from me. The School of Physical and Mathematical Sciences falls under College of Basic and Applied Sciences, and academic writing is a course essential for all of our students. So please take note of that and register accordingly. Thank you very much, Christabel, for bringing this to my attention. So I've clarified the CBAS 210 and then DCIT 207. Please take notice of that. Thank you. Um, yeah, so a thumbs up to your comments. Sir, please, I want to know what attended lecture. You stated that the placement would be done after the second semester has been released. So the courses you are registering now are all essential courses, and right from the get-go, the lectures are happening, and that is like 3 or 4 courses. So you can't be idle. You still have lectures to attend to, right? And I'm pretty sure before the ninth, the results will be known, and then you can make the necessary progress. The ninth will be, I think, the first week of lessons. So the lesson starts on the 6th of October or something. So I don't think, Mensa, you have an issue here. So that is just to that is also for your information. Okay. Let me take a few more questions here on the YouTube channel. I hope I don't have to go beyond 4:30 p.m. GMT. I still don't know the people I'm engaging with. I told you to share your. Let me know where you have joined me from, especially if you are not my student, um, or you're a parent, especially or a guardian. Um, so what is here? I got registered into BSc IT, but I wanted to venture into CS. I therefore didn't offer economics, but rather offered maths. If I don't obtain the CS, can I continue with IT? Yes, you can continue with IT. Yes, so some students take the risk to take some of the mathematics required courses for computer science students instead of focusing on their IT and in anticipation of making it. But after testing the waters, they realize that their strength is denying them the chance to proceed with their dreams and their goals. Now, if you took that risk, and I'm choosing my words carefully, if you took that risk, you can continue with your IT, but you have to make amends. You have to make amends, meaning that your required courses from level 100 first semester, you would have to add them on to your second year first semester courses, same as your second semester if you skipped any. Else, you will not meet the course requirements to graduate as a BSc IT student. I hope I'm speaking English. And you only make sure that you don't exceed 21 credits. It becomes more dangerous if you failed so many of those courses in level 100. Then you may be writing receipts all the way to level 400 because there's a maximum of credits in a semester you are allowed to register for. So if you have so many trails from level 100 first semester, you may be depriving yourself from other electives that could have been essential to your career growth and other things like that. Yeah, but that is my response to that. So you have to take the economics again that you dodged, econs 101, I remember, and then the others. We can talk more about this later on if you want us to. um Say, please, what if you had a D and a C in the DCITs and had A and B in the math courses? Oh, goodness me. We'll give you maths. You major in maths and then you minor in computer science. This is a very simple question. Simple answer to this one. Yes. Very, very, very simple. You are regretting acing your math. That means because you see the list of our courses, the challenges is what you encountered in level 100. I mean, office productivity tools. This is a required course for like the entire University of Ghana. Pretty much every student in any field needs this basic foundation, and you are failing it. Then where are we heading? Introduction to computer science, programming fundamentals. So we will let you minor in computer science. Don't worry. I mean, this is a pretty simple question I can answer. Can you graduate with most 2 Fs without writing a receipt? You cannot graduate with an F on your transcript. I'm sorry. Please go and read the university manual. Please go to the university site. You have to walk you through this process. Um, please just go to the university's website. Huh? Go to the university's website, ug.edu.gh. Go and download the manual. This is not the time I'll have to go through this with you. You should have done this right from the beginning. Student hand, okay. Download that for College of Applied Sciences, and then University of Ghana Regulations Handbook. These are the two files you need as a student, or this file and then this file. Download them and read them thoroughly. with, what can I not graduate with ease, what are the interpretations? All of that information is in there for you, please. Let's not discuss that one here. Let me leave that one out. Okay, so I hope I've answered that question. Please check the follow-up questions. Yeah, I'm doing that. I'm doing that. Yes, so you can't graduate with Fs that I can attest to. Hi, please, for IT, I have just confirmed the Manuela. DCIT 207. Please, it's your own interest. Please take it. Your credit hours will reach the maximum 18 hours, and that is okay. 15 is a no for our department. Our minimum is supposed to be 18. Other departments accept 15, which is the minimum university wide. All right. Um. Yes. So I've confirmed this set. Akoto. I've confirmed it. Sir, please. What if an individual fails one math course but passes other math courses? Well, I don't know where you are getting what you are getting at. Jim Isaac. If you want to come to computer science, it depends. So we weigh the grades. If you did so well, say maths 1, 2, 1. I mean, you have 4 maths courses. You fail in one, A is 3, and then you make some weak grades in DCIT. I mean, we still give you mathematics. Probably there was something that didn't go right that made you feel that's just one. Um, but if you ace our DCIT courses and you fail just one math, we may consider you. After it's 4 math courses, but just know that the trail is not going to make life any more easier for you going forward. That is a caution we have to throw out there. Say, if I want to do software engineering, do I have to register for a single major CS? You want to be a software engineer? Yes, single major computer science is the way for you. That's what I mean. You want to be form part of a software engineering team. Maybe you want to be a developer, you want to be whatever, business analysts, all those careers on that chain. That is your course. Okay. Let me move on to CS major and starts CS major and starts minor. Yes. So what I mean here is this. If you want to do CS major, and I'm repeating this, maybe this person joined us late, Lion Prado. If you want to join us, if you want to join our program as a computer science major, we have 3 categories. Either you are doing the single major, you are doing the combined major, or you are majoring in computer science and minoring another course. If you major in our courses, you do your final year project and get your supervision from the Department of Computer Science. Any other department you are majoring a course from, your project supervisors will be from there. Your work will be skewed towards their direction, even though you may be taking some of our courses. Okay. If you do better in other courses but do not ace our CIT or CS subject level 100, we could make you take the course as a minor, computer science as a minor, whilst you major in the other courses you did well in or better in. If you are majoring in computer science, I told you there are several students taking computer science major, minoring in mathematics, computer science major, minoring in statistics, computer science major, minoring in physics. However, you can only be considered for computer science major when you ace our DCIT courses in level 100, a minimum of a B plus. And I'm repeating that, minimum B plus. Else, don't look forward to get a CS major. Please, I'm sorry. None of them make you will make a cut for any of the 3 options that I highlighted. I don't think I'll use this platform to interpret your grades. I've showed you where to access the information. Go to the university's website. Somebody asked that question on Teams. Download the document and just look for the grades and the interpretations. If you see X, you will understand what it means. I won't answer that one here. Bear with me. Maybe I'll find time and maybe address some of these. Maybe the PDF is too loaded. Capture portions and educate you on that in future videos. If you are interested in something like that, let me know. I'll try and make that time. Where are we? Bonzi, please, concerning course registration for level 200 IT, there is an error making it impossible to select DCIT 205. Please report the error, take a snapshot, and then forward it to your course advisor or something. Let us know, and then we'll forward it to the appropriate quarters for them to address it, especially now that you are not in school just yet. Okay. And then make follow-ups. Don't just send a mail and then ignore it. We could easily forget. Sir, please, as a combined major student, you will be missing some DCIT courses and be limited to some elective. How will this affect us in future? Well, you see, you have to make an informed decision. I don't know why you want to even do combined major. To be frank with you, from my expert opinion, from where I sit, okay, combined major is for outstanding students. It speaks for itself. You are major in two disciplines, two separate, distinct disciplines. You must be a master, okay? You must be a very studious student to make such a decision, not a weak student. This is my opinion, okay? Exclusively my opinion, okay? Right. So just note that some courses you be limit, you still have to be skewed towards another department at the end of the day. We have never had an instance since this curriculum got its approval where we have a course with a student having one supervisor in computer science department, another supervisor in maths department. It has really never happened. You definitely have to um, have your focus at one side, and then that becomes your major area. So, I mean, you may not even find your colleagues in combined major. So just psych yourself up and look at your career goals and the course that align and sit with one. Either you are in a major or you are majoring in one and minoring in another. I think that is best. That is my advice. But we have left options for you. Okay. Have I answered all the questions? Okay. So somebody said, oh, protocol wonder you were a student. Okay. In my department, I presume in my class, judging from the direction of your questions, please, can you graduate with at most 2 Fs without reciting them? No, it's not possible. I've answered this question already. You can't graduate with Fs. No, the university will not allow you. I'm sorry. Even with E's, you have, I think, only one E may be considered. It can be waived off. But E and Fs are all failures. I'm sorry. Don't be looking at that. Isel is asking again, can an IT student be an IT student with good grades in CS subject switch the major C? I'm guessing you want to switch from IT to computer science. You probably might have taken the math courses instead of your IT courses. If you did well at that, the approach is such students write officially requesting for consideration. You should have probably made an A1 in your elective maths as well to complement your very exceptional grades in IT, having still borrowed some math courses to complement it. And then if it meets the desired requirement, the head of department will append a cover letter and effect this transition for you. But that's a different conversation. So you can reach out exclusively and we can discuss this. But it's not an option for everybody. Maximum we've had to switch is like 3 or 4 students in the past 4 years at a time. Sometimes you don't even get a single one. Embrace your statistics. Please, how is the placement going to be like? The placement, a link is going to be provided, and then it's going to be very simple. Provide your name, your student ID, provide your grades for all your courses, and then you have to upload spooled results from the ITS to add on to that. And this time, we want the placement to be almost instant. You finish, and in a few minutes, you should see your placement without necessarily waiting a day or two. So that's the goal right now. Implementing, testing some algorithms at the moment to see how it can speed up this kind of thing. Oh man, I'm tired. Okay, so I don't see any more questions coming up. Any more questions for me? Um, any more questions? Anybody has any question for me? No question. Okay. I guess this will be a very good place to pause, a good place to end this conversation. Um, Thank you very much for your attention. Those of you who joined on Teams, shout outs to all of you. If you have joined us on YouTube, thanks for your time as well. Let's keep this window of conversation going and opened. Sir, please, for programming one, do we get an account with intelligence? Yes, you have privileges with all of that. We'll spend some time on that maybe in a subsequent session. I really don't have time to do recordings and edit them. It's not easy. That's why I often have more live recordings than recorded and edited sections. So maybe we'll pick one of those moments and then look into it. You have a lot of privileges with your ST student accounts. Um, so please, in case you aced your DCIT courses but has C and D plus in maths, yeah, you could be considered. You didn't fail them. You could get in. Yeah. But note that the placement is purely based on your level 100 performance, first and second semesters. Right. On that note, I thank you very much once again for your attention, your time. I wish you all the best. To my students, see you all pretty soon. Make the most of your time, your vacation. Yeah, somebody wants to ask a question. Yeah, but that decision, if there's been any consideration, yeah, I'm listening. That is what somebody just asked moments ago. That's what somebody asked moments ago. I'm having some frames dropping on YouTube. Bear with me, those of you there. I've seen that I'm losing some frames. I hope it stabilizes. I don't want you to miss this question, this all important question. Is there anything I can do about it? Not too sure. Teams, hang on for me. This question is very important. I've actually provided a response to it somehow. You know, frames are dropping. I don't know why they are dropping on YouTube. The internet is pretty good, so I'm expecting it to. I'm expecting it to deliver. Um, Hang on a moment for me. Yeah, the network speed has significantly dropped. It has dropped. Okay, I hope it's not breaking too much for you on YouTube. Yeah, it's even still good. It's supposed to have gone. Yes. So the last question somebody asked, great, it has stabilized now. So let me proceed. Somebody's asking. I mentioned in the past we had like 43 students when we enforced our criteria for the selection. However, we still made consideration to bump the numbers up. Somebody also asked me prior to this question that say if you ace your math courses, your CS, DCIT, but barely pass your math, say D, D plus, or some C's, would you be considered? So for the last person who asked me the question on Teams, that is the kind of consideration I'm referring to. So in as much as we may initially be considering those who have had good grades, the description of these grades are all on the university's website in the regulations and that manual. Um, we make that consideration. We may be looking for B's, B plus, B plus and B's. We may go down all the way to C and C plus, but we could extend it to D if necessary when we need the numbers. So yeah, that is what I meant by that. I hope I've answered your question. Yes, please do. the choosing, yes. So yes, the day of the selection. So we'll make that the system will give you privileges to select 3 options, just like you did when you were applying for your programs here and all. So first choice, second choice, third choice, and be reasonable. So be careful what you select. If your first choice is single major computer science, which you know you'll not get into, you make sure your second option and third options are correct. If there is any consideration, we may come to those of you who chose the computer science as your first major but didn't qualify. Does it make sense? I hope I'm making sense to you. Somebody asked this question on the Teams. I hope I've answered her. Okay. Have there been any more questions? I thought I was ending this thing already. Yeah. Please, what are the requirements to switch to IT? You must be exceptionally strong. Should have ACE. The ACE is emphatic. No pass grade in the maths will take you into computer science from IT. No, your minimum a B plus. Minimum B plus in your maths courses. As for the computer science, it should be A or a B plus. You should just justify yourself before you be considered. Else, you stay in your IT and move on like that. So that is my response to that question. Please, what SEM are we going to do internship? Internship is in level 200. I'm not your advisor for level 200, but let me let you know. It's compulsory elective. Internship is for all students doing majoring in computer science. If you're a major student in our department, DCIT 200 internship is a requirement, 1 credit. Right. So that was not the purpose of this meeting. I hope I've answered everybody's question. Thank you all for your time once again. I hope there's no question pending. So what if I get C and 2 C pluses in my DCIT courses and I get D in my math courses? What program will I get? Oh my goodness. Boy. And what about your statistics? What did you get? Let me know what you got in there. Because your situation doesn't look good. But I mean, I can't give you concrete answers right now in some cases. We will use algorithm to determine that. And then we'll see what the outcome will be. But make wise choices and informed decisions. That's my little advice I will put across. Okay, this may be the final one. Thank you very much for your time. Enjoy the rest of your day. See you back in school very soon. If you're watching this video later on, some in the future, I hope you find it informative. If I get a chance, I may create a timeline on them. If not, please bear with me for the hours you have to spend to skim through to get what you need to watch. On that note, enjoy the rest of your day and thanks for passing through. Bye bye.
Jesus, oh my coach, my now listen to his glory. Oh nyawayo, oh nyami, adiawaye.